fam? Blessings, blessings, blessings. How are we today? Hanging out on the last day. This is how we do it. It's all about manifestation. How do we tie in transcendence, manifestation, so we can create the life we want? There is a science to it. There is a mysticism to it as well. There is a science. And when we look at how the science works, for us to be able to create, to be able to become, to be able to step into, align to, that person and the manifestations that we desire, there is a science. So we'll have a look at it today. I will say big love to you, fam. I hope you're enjoying the journey of your transcendence journey. I hope it's helping you in all areas of your life, relationships, family. I hope it's helping you in your career, with your finances. I hope it's healing. And when we look at now the data, when we look at the substance of what causes this to happen, what causes us to be able to heal, what causes us to be able to create, what causes us, good day to you all, jumping in live, big love to you, fam. What causes us to be able to create that which we want. There are steps, and there are certain things that we can do at certain times in order to be able to manifest, in order to be able to create. And the hard part is if we do one step or we do one part before we access another, what happens is we drastically cut down our ability. We put up blocks and force fields that can prevent manifestations coming in. And this is what we're going to go through for the next few minutes together. And then at the end of it, we'll do a transcendence session as well, which is bring on some more transcendence. That way you can know the formula and you can get out there and start practicing. So big love to the fam that are jumping in, and let's get into this. So when we look at quickly, just, and I'm going to jam through this, when we look at manifestation, manifestation isn't just hoping. Manifestation isn't just sitting there and saying, yes, I want more money. Yes, I want a better relationship. Yes, I want to attract a better partner. Yes, I want to, I want to become this beautiful, conscious, or this kind of parent, or this more whatever parent I want to be, right? And it's just wishing that could happen upon us. It's just, I really want that promotion in my career. Manifestation is looking back and going, how do I create the resonance, the energetic body? And the resonance, energetic body, frequency, thoughts, emotions, attitudes, beliefs. How do I create this body that naturally, reflexively attracts, draws that in, yet as it draws that in, owns the worth, the power, the empowerment to accept that manifestation when it does come in. Because one of the hard truths is we're always manifesting. We're manifesting now, we're manifesting when we sleep, we manifest when we wake up, we're always manifesting. But when we start to look at the energy through this vibration, through this frequency, through this resonance of who we are, when we look at that energy of what we're putting out into the world, this energy that we're putting into this field of infinite potential, this energy is where we're then drawing life experiences from. So if we can start to understand this, we can go, cool. Now let's look at the formula. Let's look at the substance of what causes this frequency, what causes this vibrational frequency, this resonance within us, that when we put out any resonance, any information into this field, we can then always go, cool, now we're starting to be in control. We're empowered for what we're putting in there. We're empowered for what we're getting back, and we're enough to be able to then receive that which we desire. So when we look at this formula, there's normally three steps or three phases. And I'm going to say phases, right? Phases we must go through in order to be able to tick the box. So just type in the chat, just type science. If you're into the spiritual side, type spiritual. If you're into both, type both, just pop them in the chat. What happens is, as we're going through this journey, these three phases, if we don't do phases in order, we start to miss chunks of what we can align to, the frequency that we can become in order to attract that which we want. As a quick example, if we just start going, cool, I want to become this person, I just want to be this, and we just start, jamming this whatever data into our brain, and we're just like, yeah, I wish upon this, I want this, and we're just like sporadically chaos going, I want to get here, I want to get out of my fear, I want to get out of my pain, I want to get out of this fight or flight, and I want abundance, and I want success, and I want happiness, and I want love, yet we're not doing the work, the pre-phases before we try and become this person. So we like every day, yes, affirmations every day, yes, I'm going to sleep every day. but yet we're not working on the right information at the right time, what happens is we can still manifest, but when we've got the substance of limitations, when we've got the substance of fear, when we've got the substance of pain, like physical pain, emotional pain, when we've got the substance of that, when we're going straight to this end level of like, I want to create, I want to manifest, I want to get all this, I want to be this person. If we don't work on this system first, this is where no matter how much we think, we've got like there's data behind this, right? There's data to show that when we think consciously for what we want, it's a tiny amount of information that we're putting in the world. The majority of the information of who we are comes from the back of the brain. So we're talking cerebellum, we're talking about the mid parts of the brain. And as this information comes from the back to the mid part of the brain, as it reaches what we put out into the world through our behaviors, we're talking like 5-lane highways of Mack trucks of information. So when we have this one goal or this one desire to have abundance in the world, we've got the 5-lane highway of Mack trucks just jamming that, saying, I'm not enough, I'm worthless, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny, I'm too big, I'm worthless, I'll never get there. And there's key, when we look at the neuroscience, there's key data points that show us what limitations and what blocks are actually preventing our manifestations from the field. So if we try and go straight to this end part of manifestation without ticking the boxes first, what happens is we block and sometimes even repel manifestation. So when we look at these 3 phases, the first phase, and this is where a lot of people heal. So we're talking deep inner healing. This is where people can have miraculous healings. When we look at the first phase, it's about becoming present. It's about healing the current mind and body. This is why transcendence is so powerful. Transcendence, sleep, and then you've got a plethora of other modalities that you could use. When we look at the first part, when we look at healing the body, when we look at healing the mind, when we look at becoming present, becoming aware, you're entering pure awareness, what happens is we start to separate ourselves from our thoughts, from our thinking, from what we think we are, from what we believe we are. We start to understand the operating system that's running, that's causing us to create and manifest everything in the world. This is why our quantum transcendence meditation is so powerful, because as we sit there for 20 minutes a day, and we sit there and meditate, and we sit there and we say our mantra, and then we become aware. Key word here is aware, that thoughts arise. We're starting to notice thoughts from the observer. And as we notice thoughts from the observer, we can now perceive thoughts differently. Instead of just having this information bombarding the front of our brain and the decisions we make, we're able to actually see these thoughts as, wow, that's a thought. I now have a choice in this moment. Is this thought real? Is this what I want it to be? I'm aware of it. Cool. I'm now separate from it because I'm now, you ready? This is the transcendence component. I'm now sitting here, and as that thought arises, there's no emotional attachment to this thought. I'm starting to create and crack the bond there. So there's a couple of things that happen here in phase one. Number one is we become the observer of thought. Number two is we start to relax and heal the body. So if somebody, and most people are, 90% of our population, especially Western society, lives in some form of doubt, judgment, fear, guilt, unworthiness, not being enough. And with that, all that information that comes from the back of the brain, with those Mack trucks of information, this feeds the energetic body for the information we put in the field. So as we start to do transcendence, and as we start to relax this central nervous system, brain, down the spinal cord, as we start to relax this central nervous system, we allow our body to do a couple of things. Number one is heal. So if somebody is sitting there with pain, and there's other things that we need to do here, this is just one component, like it's an ecosystem here. When we start to looking at pain, when we start to look at certain vibrational frequencies, emotional attachments that we have to things in life, we start to heal this, because as we de-stress the body, we give the body permission to go into its beautiful state of release, of relaxation and healing. When we sleep at night, we can sleep deeper. And when we're sleeping deeper, when we're sleeping better, we can enter deeper states of healing again. So we can create, just through doing meditation, sleeping, we can create this vortex of healing, vortex of aligning the current system this is our brain, this is our body, this is our heart. We can align this system and start moving it into the space of who we want to be. Holler in the chat if that makes sense. First phase is being able to calm the system. So let's say, for example, if we don't do the first phase and we go straight to the last one, it's like, cool, my affirmations, I'm gonna meditate every day, I'm gonna project every day, I'm gonna live in the field of who I want to be. If we're doing and we're really charging with that every day, it's like, you know what, I go ham. It's like you sit there and you meditate. You do 20 minutes in the morning, you do meditate, 20 minutes at lunch, you do 20 minutes at night. You're like, I am going to live in my field. And I'm just going to create from the field. But yet we don't hit this scarcity. We don't hit this deep abundance or deep lack of abundance, deep guilt, deep fear, deep shame, deep unworthiness. If we don't heal that first, all of that information is coming up through into what we project out when we want to create that abundance. This is why the first phase is so important. First phase is relaxing this central nervous system, relaxing our neurology, relaxing our mind, relaxing our body, relaxing our emotions, relaxing the dogma of our thoughts, our old belief systems that have come from maybe childhood, from certain places we've been, with certain parenting styles that we've had in our life. As we relax and we heal that, as we calm that, we now can then go, cool, let's open up the next phase. And the second phase is going, hold up, before I actually get out there and I start just jamming my brain on who I need to be, jamming my brain on, becoming a person, jamming my brain on my manifestation. So just sitting there, say, I want more wealth, I want more wealth. Or, I want to attract a partner, I want to attract love, I want to attract this abundance of love and connection in my life. And we're sitting there and we're like, abundance, abundance, abundance. Before we go there, and before we get out there and we start going to different places to date someone or find someone with all of this energy that we've been holding our entire life, before we go there, we go, firstly, who is the person? This is phase 2, right? So this is technically second. Who is the person that I need to become? Who is that person I need to embody within myself that will then attract this, that will have this, that will be able to maintain this, will be able to keep this? Like, who is the person? What are their thoughts? What are their emotions? What are their belief systems? What are their values? What do they find most important in their life? And where do they spend their time? What are their behaviors? If we can work out and we can uncover that person that naturally has that, naturally creates that, naturally embodies this manifestation, this abundance that we want to create, what happens is we train our neurological system. This is our neurons, are our information that fires off, which causes basically all we do in the world. If we can understand who that person is, who you can become in order to be able to create that which you want, what happens is we start to reflexively, naturally go out and create the things we want in life. This is then the sweet spot. Because even if we heal our system, even if we go in this deep meditation processes and we heal, we calm, we relax, if we don't have that vessel, so this is the neuroscience component, if we don't have that vessel, thoughts, automatic thoughts, belief systems, value systems, attitudes, moods, emotions, if we don't have that system who creates what we want naturally all day, every day, we can go out there and yes, we're always creating, we're always manifesting, but what are we manifesting? Neuroscience would show if we can create this energetic body, if we can create this being, that manifestation will naturally draw to us. This is then the game. And I will say, big love fam, I will say in the description, or just type quantum in the chat here, we're running a 4-day event on transcendence and manifestation. So if you do want to attend that, just jump in. And I think there's a link in the description here, or just type quantum in the chat and we can flick you a link. But if you want to spend 4 days just on this topic here, so we're talking like phase 1, 2, and 3, about to go through phase 3, just type quantum, or if not, just click the link and then you register for it. Would love to see you there. Now, as we sit here and we create this energetic body, we create this vibrational frequency. What we're doing with phase 1 and 2, phase 1 and 2 goes like this. Phase 1, we relax the system, we heal the system. Phase 2 is we work out who we want to become. These two together start to create an infinite alignment between who we're meant to be, who we think we are, who we feel we are, and then the physical body that we have here in this lifetime. So we're talking about the energy we have in the body. We're talking about, are we strong enough? Are we resilient enough? The physical body for us to be able to go out there and create this, which is what we want. When we hit these two and we hit these two together, we create an alignment through this. And when we create an alignment through this, we catapult, we accelerate drastically our manifestations. With only one, we are always manifesting. With only one, again, if we hit like greatest example, let's say somebody wants love, just type love. Oh, bring on love. If somebody wants love, if they want to create, we've just been dating the same people over and over again, which happens so frequently, just dating people over and over again. And we're like, you know what? I want to embody a different love. I want to embody a new love. I want to attract a different type of person, maybe a more conscious person, a kinder person, a more loving person. What happens here is if we don't heal the mind and body, so heal our emotions, heal our dogmas, heal our thoughts, belief systems, value, all of it. If we don't heal this, so we don't work on ourselves, calm ourselves, and we go straight to who do I want to become, what happens is we hit this surface level of change within us. So we're not hitting deep, permanent change. We're hitting surface level change. So let's say somebody becomes kinder, they become more spiritual, they be more connected, right? And they're like, you know what, I want to find, let's say I'm a woman, I want to go out there and I want to attract a partner, I want to attract a male that's more conscious. So they start to go to these conscious spaces to meet someone. So they've got the understanding, the logical understanding in their brain, but they haven't embodied it inside their body yet. Does that make sense? They've got this conscious level of understanding, but is the embodiment there? This is only looking at number two and not number one. So when they go out there and they might go to yoga studios, meditation spaces, they might go to certain festivals, and when they go out and they go to these places, they might meet someone there. And on the surface level, when they meet that person, I'm sure many of you have been through this or you know someone through this, when they meet this person and they attract them into their life and they're like, oh, wow, I can't believe this. My manifestations came so quick. Like I wanted this 2 weeks later, a month later, 6 months later, I've now attracted this person and now they're in the relationship. So now they've attracted this, they're in this relationship. Yet because the healing hasn't happened, because this clearing of the system hasn't happened, over time, this person who has this understanding consciously of who they want to be, over time, as the new person starts to maybe do certain behaviors, certain patterns, it then brings up our old patterns, our old belief systems, our unconscious belief systems, value systems, our attitudes, our moods, some that we're not aware of consciously, all that we're not aware of consciously. And all of a sudden, we start to naturally sabotage this relationship. This person might be like, well, you're not that, you're not the person, I'm not saying you here, I'm just saying the word you. This person is not the person I thought they were, because now it's different from who they were at the start to who they are 6 months into the relationship, a year, 3 years into the relationship. It's not the person I started dating originally. That's because we didn't work on the system. Hope that makes sense. Holler in the chat if that makes sense. So number one and number two are extremely important. Number one is, how do we heal the system? How do we heal as we transcend and as we relax? And look, we've got, if you want to come to this quantum, I'll give you so many more strategies to be able to work on the healing as well. But as we go through this healing, what we're doing is, as we relax, we release. As we de-stress, we give our unconscious mind, we give our body its ability to open up and release the emotions, the thoughts that we aren't ready or haven't been able to deal with because we've been holding the energy for so long. Because maybe, like, I think if somebody's living in fight or flight already, the body does not want to say, hey, here's your undealt with baggage from childhood. Here's this. The body doesn't want to create more stress there. Yet as somebody starts to meditate, as somebody starts to sleep well, it's sleep alone. As we go through REM sleep, we go through our own psychotherapy, like just going through REM sleep. So having good quality REM sleep, we're going through our own healing just then. And we're talking mental healing, right? We do this in meditation as well. Sitting there meditating, as these emotions arise, as these feelings arise, as we're meditating, we become aware of them, we can view them, we can witness them, and then we can boom, let them go, back onto our mantra. This is a form of a release system for ourselves. So release first. At the same time, while we're releasing, we can start to go, who do we want to be? Let's start to design the system. Then what happens is on the third step, now we can start activating the being. So again, in our 4 day, in our what's it called, quantum meditation challenge coming up, we will go, this is how you activate the being. How do you activate the being is you go through systems. So let's talk the data. You go through systems and processes daily that you can use to embody what we work on in phase two. So we've worked out what our belief systems, what our thoughts, what are our emotions, what do we want to live, what do we want to behave, what do we want to do. Then in number three, phase three, now we do the strategies. Now we do the structure to become it. This is why you could give anyone a business strategy, but some people, absolutely prosper with a business strategy, same strategy, where someone else might fail or might sabotage that journey. That's because we're not working on the being first. Are we relaxing the system? Are we creating that self? It's not even creating the self-worth yet. That's phase two. It's, are we becoming okay with who we are? Are we becoming separate from our limitations? So then when we look at how do we create the self-worth, we're releasing whilst integrating, releasing whilst integrating. This is then the sequence. These are the phases. So phase one is heal. Phase two is who do we need to become? Phase three is then the activation and the becoming of that person. Hold in the chat if that makes sense. And if you do like that, please hit the like button. Always subscribe as well. Big love fan. And if you haven't already, register for the training. We'll run you through 4 days or multiple days of just digging into this system, phase one, phase two, phase three, and just help you activate your manifestation. So whether you want a new relationship, whether you want to become a kinder, more calmer parent, whether you want to get promoted in your career, whether you want to start a business and you want to start something, like as we go through this transition on the world, you want to start something for yourself. If you want to start something for yourself, you want to start a side hustle, you want to start a side job, you want to become maybe the coach, you want to become that master healer in the world. If we don't work on the system first, that journey sabotages itself day in and day out. This is the data. Alrighty, fam. So as we go into our meditation today, as we go into our transcendence today, what I'm going to invite you to do is just think about beforehand. Who is it that you want to embody? Who is it that you want to become? So we're going to transcend, right? As you transcend, we're already accessing this healing phase. We're already accessing this separation from self. Or I also invite you now just to start thinking about who is it that I need to become to have the manifestations I want in the world. So if I want to create a better relationship, a deeper, more conscious relationship, who do I need to become now? I need to become that person. I need to become the more conscious person. I need to become the more empathetic, the more kinder person. So when I attract that person, I'm not bringing all of my unconscious baggage. I'm not bringing all of my snap responses. I'm not bringing all of maybe my anger, frustrations, all the guilt, the shame into that relationship. And the more we become that person that's kinder to ourselves, not just kinder to others, but kinder to ourselves, more loving to ourselves, we will naturally then project that onto that person. So I invite you, okay, I'm just going to go, if you want to make more money, right? More money is, am I worthy of money? Do I have the behaviors to get out there and create more money, whether that's promotion in a career, whether that's the skill sets to go and build something on the side, or even full-time thing. Do I have this body that is okay to do those behaviors? Do I feel okay with it? Do I think I'm okay with it? And as we create that alignment down our system, we naturally do the work. I hope that makes sense. This is the most powerful things that we can understand of around manifestation, is if we can become aligned to the work that we do while we're manifesting, while we're creating, we will effortlessly move out there into the world and manifest. So I invite you to think about who you need to become, who you need to embody. What are the belief systems? What are the thoughts you tell yourself? And just for the next few moments, think about What will you feel when you have it? What will you feel when you are that person? So when you are that person who thinks a certain way, who feels a certain way, when you are that person, what is life like? What are you doing? What are the behaviors? And what we're doing here is we're training our brain. So just by you thinking now, just by you thinking this at the moment, you're firing off neurons. You're firing off future memories. You're firing off information. As you think about that and you think about it more, and then you go in and enter transcendence afterwards, you're then starting to integrate into, starting to, the journey. Again, if you want the data behind this and you want to go ham on this, you want to go all out with this, just register for the training. I'll literally unpack this over a couple of days for you. When you start to train your system, so again, we're thinking, this is training the system. Then when we enter deep relaxation through transcendence, through sleep at night, there's a thing called non-sleep deep rest. Non-sleep deep rest. Sleep. So meditation is a form of, most meditations are a form of non-sleep deep rest. When we enter these spaces, the information we're thinking about now and that we're feeling, and again, we can go deep into the chemicals of this, the information we're thinking, that starts to get stored into our system. That gets stored as memory. And as that gets stored as memory, then we start to manifest. We start to manifest from this new state of being, not from the old self. So just have a think about that. And then in a moment, we're going to go on a transcendence session. And again, well, we're going to say again, what we now do is after we think about this for a bit, when we enter our transcendence, we let it go. We've done the work. We've activated the field. We've activated the information. We've activated the data we want to send into the field. Then when we transcend, this is then the body's ability to do its job. And our body's ability is to grow, evolve, and become. As we become, we naturally project out that which we want, which then we can start to manifest. This is the flow. So just think about who you need to become. Might see certain things you need to do in the world, behaviors, and then what you're saying, what you're feeling as you go about this. And then in our session today, we'll do our normal 3 minutes of brain heart coherence to relax the system. After we've done this thinking, we'll release the thoughts, send it out into the field. Then we'll relax in a moment. After that, bring up our mantra. If you're using Soya, just bring up the mantra of Soya. If you've got your mantra for the fam, for the big fam, for the lovely fam, if you've got your mantra, bring up your mantra and start saying a mantra and transcend. And then allow your mind and body to experience that moment of thought, separation from thought, mantra. And then as we transcend and become pure awareness, we allow this information to become one with us. This is the journey. Give me some yeses. Are we ready, fam? Ready to do this? Let's pop it up. Pop, 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 pop. Yes in the chat. Pop, pop, pop. All right. Let's go. So I invite you to get comfortable. You can have your feet on the ground or you can sit there cross-legged. For this one, please do this sitting up. You can have your back against the support. You can even have your head against the support if you like. Just sitting there. We'll start doing our coherence. So when you're ready, slowly close your eyes. And breathe in the nose for 4, 2, 3, 4. And out the mouth for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 4. And then out for 6. And slowly bring your hand to your heart. You can either put your hands over your heart or just tap your heart with a finger. Continuing your slow breath whilst placing your attention, your awareness on your heart. All of your attention, all of your awareness on your heart. Breathing slowly and allow your mind and body to relax. If thoughts arise, that's totally cool. Just become aware of that thought. And then move back to placing your attention, your awareness on your heart. All of your attention. And now place your hands in your lap or on your knees, whatever's comfortable, and start saying your mantra in your mind. If thoughts arise, that's totally cool. Don't place any judgment. Just bring your awareness back to your mantra and allow your mind and body to do the dance of transcendence. I'll see you in 20. And now come back down into your mind. Be aware of your body, being aware of this moment. Breathe kindly, nicely, gently. Become aware of your hands, your feet. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. How was that? Take a moment. So what we're doing here, from a manifestation point of view, we're firstly activating the neurological connections, the understanding what the mind can perceive, what the body can become. And then when we do our transcendence, we're accessing these states of deep rest, deep relaxation. That is the moments, along with sleep. That's why sleep is so important, where we start to install that information into our brain and body, into our long-term memory, into where we can become it. So phase one is to heal the system, heal the mind, heal the body, relax, open it up so we have the energy to be able to create something new. Phase two is then, who do we need to become? Thoughts, emotions, belief systems, automatic thoughts. What do we need to value? What's important to us? What are the attitudes, the moods? What are the behaviors that a person does in order to be able to create that which we want? Then the third part is, how do we now become it? How do we embody it? This is now where the affirmation work comes in. This is where we could do, click on through if you want to check out the quantum meditation, quantum manifestation challenge. In there, we'll go through and build the systems, because under each one of these pillars, under each one of these phases, we now have structures, we have strategies, we have systems that we can do to enhance this, to build this system. So big love to you, fam. If you have enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If you're not fully initiated yet, click on through and go through the initiation process. You get your mantra. That's been phase one. Get phase one sorted. Operate phase one. Nail it. If you know anyone who might enjoy this or like this, please, man, hit that share button and share this link with them. More than happy to be able to serve as many people as possible with helping them manifest what they want in the world. Outside of that, big love to you, fam. Be well, be well. Have a great morning. Have a great day. Have a great evening, depending on what time it is in the world for you.